and welcome in this tiny 8 square meters. It has been my home for the past 1.5 years, and not just for me, but also for my girlfriend and our cat named Freaky. And overall, it's holding up pretty well. And I think the fact that it actually worked isn't just luck. Even before we bought the van, we spent many hours sketching layouts, figuring out what we needed to live off-grid full time. In the end, 3 things were non-negotiable. We wanted to maximize storage space, having a spacious kitchen, and we wanted a proper fixed bed with a high quality mattress. A fixed bed also meant we had a built-in garage underneath. Eventually, we found a 2008 medium wheelbase crafter. We bought it from a forklift mechanic and it wasn't exactly clean. There was still a workbench inside, there was grease everywhere. It was a mess. But once it was all empty and it was all cleaned, I did a full 3-day scan of the van and built a really detailed 3D model of it. I probably went a little overboard on the details, but I just wanted to be 100% sure that everything would fit before we started the build. And from that 3D model, we turned this van into our home. Before we jump into the details of the layout and what has worked and what has not, let's talk about what makes this van truly self-sufficient: the electrical and water system. For power, we run off-grid with 2 175 watt solar panels feeding into a 12 volt 220 amp AGM battery, which we tucked away in the garage. Most things run on 12 volts, but we also have a 500 watt inverter, which we placed under this bench. On the side of that bench, we built a control panel where we can charge our phones, our laptops, and where we can switch most things on and off, like our lighting system. We have 6 dimmable spotlights in the ceiling, we have 2 under the upper cabinets of the kitchen, and we have a cozy night lamp by the bed. And recently we bought this handmade lamp from a good friend of ours. For water, we installed a 150 liter fresh water tank in the garage, connected it to an electric pump and a 6 liter electric boiler. But to be honest, we barely use the boiler. Under the sink there's a 70 liter grey water tank, and we installed a water drop filter so we have drinking water. Since we wanted to keep the van as stealthy as possible, both the outer shower and the water inlet are also hidden in the garage. That way, from the outside, it looks like a regular van. Let's talk about the kitchen. I'm really happy with the design choices we made here. I once came across a kitchen like this on Pinterest, and I knew one day I want to build something similar, with exposed plywood sides and the hidden flush handles. In total we have 11 drawers in the lower cabinets, and I'll show you in a moment what's inside each of them. For cooking we chose a portable gas stove instead of a built-in one. That way we can store it away for extra counter space, but most importantly we can cook outside as well. And that has been one of the best decisions we have made. Another surprisingly good decision is this tiny black attachment on the faucet. It saves a huge amount of water. For the upper cabinets we decided to keep it open, so we could add some coziness like a plant or some books, and we also store some food storage there, which we can reach easily. Next to them we have these crates where we keep all kind of things, and behind them we usually store dirty laundry and some extra blankets. And also above the kitchen we installed a small max fan for ventilation. But looking back at it, I think I would have preferred an extra skylight instead. But it is what it is. Overall, this kitchen has been everything we hoped for. It fits us perfectly. Alright, let's go through all the drawers. In the first drawer we keep our spices and cutlery. Right below is the drawer where we store our gas stove when we are driving. Although when we're not driving it usually is a space for some extra fresh foods. And then we have the large drawer underneath, and there is our fridge. And this actually brings me to the one and only thing we have to modify since we finished the build. The fridge was constantly overheating and shelling off. So what we did was we adjusted the drawer to improve the ventilation, and from that on it actually works great. Moving on to the second column of drawers. The top one holds our plates and bowls. Below that is where we keep our toothbrushes, jewelry, vitamins, all that kind of stuff. The next drawer is dedicated to fresh products, and the one below holds our dry food supplies like pasta and canned foods. With these drawers you can really see how we managed to maximize storage space. The bottom drawers are actually a little bit longer than the one above. I think the small details like this made a big difference in how much we could fit into this van. Then onto the last row of drawers. At the top there is some junk, random stuff. I think we all have a drawer like that, right? Below that we keep our glasses, mugs, and for us, very important, our coffee beans and filters. Then we have our snack drawer where we have some tea as well and some other stuff. And finally at the bottom, our pots and pans. And I think that covers the kitchen. So let's move on to the rest of the storage. Under the bench I'm sitting on, we have a chemical toilet where, as you can see, we recently had a little accident with the toilet fluid. Next to it we store toilet paper, some general supplies. Under the bed we have a pull-out table, which also doubles as an extra storage for books and games. And in the large drawer below we keep some of our clothes, towels, bedding. The last storage space we have are the overhead cabinets above the bed, where we each have our own section for clothes. The next part of the van, where we of course have a lot of storage space, is in the garage. We already saw it empty earlier, but this is what it normally looks like. Up here we keep our outdoor table, our 2 chairs are here, and in these black boxes we have some extra clothing and some general tools. And other than that, it's mostly a bit of a mess in here. There's a hose for refilling our water, some shoes, bags, cat food, you name it. And then the last bit of storage we have is at the front of the van. Under the bench we keep the insulation for our front windows, and right next to it is our diesel heater. And inside the doors we store some extra shoes and slippers. Talking about doors, I already mentioned that we wanted to keep our van as stealthy as possible, which is why we only installed one original side window. But what I really wanted to focus on is the inside of the doors. I often see vans where the doors are left unfinished and uninsulated. And honestly, I don't really understand why. We finished ours with some wood paneling and we even hid a curtain inside. In the back doors we created 2 small nooks where we store some books and our glasses when we go to sleep. And I think it's those little details that make the van feel more like a home to us. I think that's it, our tiny home on wheels. After living in this van full time for over 1.5 years, I can honestly say we're still really happy with how we designed it. Every little detail we thought through to fit our lifestyle, and even though it's tiny, it has everything we need. And most importantly, for us it feels like home. I hope this tour gave you some inspiration, some ideas to hopefully build your own van one day. I hope you subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.